It's Thursday, and that means prep football teams throughout the state are going through their final preparations before this weekend's games. That's right, Tom. These two squads do have a deep playoff history. Friday night marks the fourth time in the past 6 seasons that Lewistown will play Laurel in the state playoffs.
Although Xander lost in the first round, he still has a great attitude and a bright future ahead of him. He says he's excited to visit all the Smithsonian museums in Washington before he leaves Saturday.
Low-impact activities, like an elliptical workout, like I'm doing right now, are the standard approach doctors are using to keep injured athletes as active as possible. The players on Belt left it all on the field this season, but as I found out, one player in particular takes none of his time on the field for granted. Many girls from that team also play basketball and are hoping the momentum from winning a volleyball title will carry over to basketball season. And I'm Benji Cohen. Welcome to the Medill Sports Report. Tonight, the Washington Mystics have their second game of the season against what used to be the Tulsa Shock, now the Dallas Wings, the newest member of the WNBA. Belt High School's boys basketball team is always one of the best in Class C. So many great games that went down to the wire, and even more outstanding plays from players leaving it all on the field, knowing that it's win or go home. The players on Belt left it all on the field this season, but as I found out, one player in particular takes none of his time on the field for granted.
And I looked down at my leg and I could just see a hole in my muck boot, and then I just knew that I had to go find somebody.
Keegan Stroop is a junior at Belt High School and a star athlete. He's the leading receiver on the football team, finished 7th in the state in cross country, and the point guard of the basketball team. But 3 years ago, an accident almost put an end to his athletic career.
I was up pheasant hunting behind my house and my gun had jammed up, and I was trying to fix it and wasn't being safe and wasn't paying attention to where I was pointed, and I ended up blowing half my calf off, then having to walk home about a mile.
Keegan was in 8th grade, just 14 years old, when he shot half his left calf off with a shotgun while hunting in the hills behind Remington Field. His head football coach, Jeff Brand, remembers like it was yesterday.
We were here practicing on the game field, and we heard a gunshot. We thought it was a hunter. Then all of a sudden we're getting, cops flying by, and my phone's blowing up in practice, and we weren't answering it, and it was just kind of scary. No one really knew what happened. And
when Keegan finally got to the hospital, doctors told him that he probably wouldn't be able to play sports ever again. Keegan was devastated.
Honestly, I was pretty sad. It hit me pretty hard. I know I love playing football and being out with all my friends, and they're just so great to me, and it just hurt me pretty hard to know that I might not be able to play sports ever again.
The average person might not be able to play sports again, but if there's one thing Keegan knows, it's hard work, and this setback wouldn't keep him from doing what he loves.
It honestly only took me about a year to start moving and running again.
And even if the doctor's prognosis was right,
I'd honestly probably try to manage just so I could be out there with my friends and kind of still be involved with the game a little bit.
Keegan's a playmaker on the field. He lives with passion no matter the circumstance. He says that the injury has influenced that mentality.
It just makes me go, I don't know, it just makes me want to go hard and play 100% all the time, knowing that, you never know when it's your last play, your last down, that you could be out on that field with your friends and everyone watching you.
You guys see on the highlights is Keegan all the time. He brings energy like that. Whether it's PE class, he competes like that. Cross country, track. He's one of the most competitive kids. The video games, like the kids say, he's as intense as there is. But and that's just part of his personality. I think that's part of the reason why he came back from that injury so strong and so much better.
The injury still plagues Keegan. There's 32 BBs in his left calf, and he has to get ultrasound and his lead levels checked twice a year. But none of that slows him down. From Belt, Benji Cohen, MTN Sports.
Today, an 8th grader from Ames made his 4th appearance at the B. Local 5's Benji Cohen shares how well he did against the almost 300 other spellers.
And then I just sort of paused, tried to sound it out, and I mixed up one letter at the end.
U.S. Peucellas is spelled P-U-C-E-L-L-A-S.
Okay.
This is Xander Reed's fourth spelling bee. He is the only speller in this year's competition to participate 4 years in a row.
It's easy to be disappointed that he didn't go farther, but to remember that, he is, this year he's the only fourth-year repeater. I mean, so that's, that's something to really be proud of.
But even with experience, being on center stage with the whole world watching can give you the jitters.
Yeah, once I was up there, actually in front of the mic, I was kind of nervous, but right before there I was calm, and then I sort of started freaking out once I got to the to the mic.
The word Xander was asked to spell was Pucellas, a garden tool, and he will likely never forget how to spell it.
Pucellas.
It doesn't matter where you're from at the Bee. All spellers have respect for each other.
I think the neatest thing about it is it never feels like you're competing against the other kids. They're always high-fiving each other as they come off or consoling them when they don't spell right. And in the end, it is them against the dictionary.
Although Xander lost in the first round, he still has a great attitude and a bright future ahead of him. He says he's excited to visit all the Smithsonian museums in Washington before he leaves Saturday. Reporting in Maryland, I'm Benji Cohen, Local 5 News, We Are Iowa.
It's Thursday, and that means prep football teams throughout the state are going through their final preparations before this weekend's games. In my opinion, this weekend presents the most intriguing matchups of the season so far. It features teams fighting for home field advantage in the state playoffs and other teams trying to knock off perennial powerhouses to claim their crown. Here's my breakdown of the 4 games you won't want to miss this weekend.
Number 4, Havre at Lewistown. When these teams go head-to-head, it's always a great game and one that you'll not want to miss if you're in the area. The winner of this year's matchup will have sole possession of second place in the Central A Division and will be in the driver's seat to receive a home game in the first round of the state playoffs. Number 3, Senior at CMR. There is no doubt about it, Billings Senior is the best team in the state. Quarterback Nathan Dick and receiver Gabe Solser have led the Broncs to be the only undefeated team in Class AA. But on Friday, they'll face a CMR team that has no quit in them. CMR is coming off a season-saving win against Glacier, who was undefeated before losing to the Rustlers. Number 2, Belt at Great Falls Central. The Belt Huskies have showed no sign of slowing down. Their high-powered offense has led them to an undefeated record of 7-0, and they are in sole possession of first place in the 8-man Northern C Division. Saturday, they play a much-improved Great Falls Central team that is 6-1 and looking to cause chaos in the Northern C with a win. Number 1, Shelby at Fairfield. Both of these squads are undefeated and looking for that number 1 seed come state playoff time. Fairfield is the perennial powerhouse in the Northern Division, but Shelby is looking to take their crown, at least for this year.
Round of the prep football playoffs for classes A, B, and C is now in the books, and it did not disappoint. So many great games that went down to the wire, and even more outstanding plays from players leaving it all on the field, knowing that it's win or go home. Here's the weekend's top plays and game changers.
Number 5, West Yellowstone at Valier. Panthers already up 50-0 at this point. Colton Wheeler rolls out, throws back across the field to R.J. Weekum, who comes down with it. Watch out for that goal post. Panthers shut out Yellowstone 56-0. Number 4, Valley Christian at Highwood. 4th and 8 for the Rivals, and they run the fake punt to perfection. Cody Kuhn finds a wide-open Branson Becker, who then breaks a tackle and takes it down to the 1-yard line to set up a Rivals touchdown, and the Rivals would go on to win 54-52. Number 3, Laurel at Lewistown. Just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Jared Craig takes the handoff up the middle and bounces it outside for a 52-yard touchdown run to make it 21-6 Locomotives. Second quarter now, and how about one more time for Jared Craig? This time takes the handoff down the left sideline, following his blockers and making defenders miss on his way to his 4th touchdown of the first half. The Locomotives steamroll past Lewistown 54-6. Number 2, Twin Bridges at Belt. Huskies get the ball one more time with 40 seconds left in the first half, and Harry Green puts the team on his back, running up the middle and eluding defenders on his way to the end zone for a 47-yard touchdown run. His 3rd touchdown of the first half, the Huskies run away from the Falcons 68-27. Number 1, Shelby at Huntley Project. just before the half. Watch this catch. Aaron White hits Logan Watson, and that would have been good on Sundays. He gets both feet in to give the Coyotes a 22-14 lead at the break. Fourth quarter now, and White heaves it up to Andrew Johnson, who comes down with it for the score. Shelby wins on a walk-off 40-37.